How's it going, everybody? We are gonna do a little bit of work to the truck. Nothing major, but it should actually help quite a bit. The last couple of runs we've been doing, I've been realizing that we are out of fuel, out of injector in particular. So I was gonna mess with turning up the fuel pressure and trying to squeak a little bit more out of it so that we could spray a little bit of nitrous on top. Because I sprayed some nitrous the other day at that PPIR show, or race. And trusting Holly, I guess, a little bit more than I probably should have, not remembering how close I was to being out of fuel. It leaned out. It tried going to 130% duty cycle, and I think the entire time I was spraying, it was about 13.3 air fuel. And I want to spray more, so we need to go ahead and do something. I don't think just upping the fuel pressure. I mean, granted, the base fuel pressure right now is about 40 psi. So I could go quite a bit. The pump can sustain, 100 psi and be pretty happy with life. So I could turn the base up. Since we do less than 20 pounds, I could probably turn the base up to, probably all the way up to like 70 psi or something like that, and still be okay. And that would give us a decent amount of fuel. But I say screw it. I think it's just time to get bigger injectors. So that's part of what we got. A couple other miscellaneous things. I haven't changed the fuel filters out since I got them, and they're not interchangeable ones. And then possibly playing around with some wheel spacers. The tires are really, really close to the frame, and we knew they were going to be really close. The section width on the big tires, I mean, it leaves maybe a quarter of an inch. Not a quarter of an inch, probably about half an inch. And so in some scenarios, like when we're flexing the tire, like if I'm turning it real sharp to get into the pits, I hear it rubbing a little bit. The last thing I want is for it to somehow wrinkle, or if I get really sideways or something and the tire decides to scoot over a little bit, tear a hole in the side of it while I'm going like 120. So probably space that out a little bit, and then up the nitrous, put a bigger jet in there. And we're gonna go on the dyno tomorrow, which will probably be in the rest of this video. It'll probably be the second half of this video. And got some more nitrous jets. That's a range of, actually I can't remember what the range is. Moderate to stupid idea. So we get the first set of injectors replaced in there. Took these out and put those fat boys in there. After, of course, losing the little spacer in the backside. That was a pain in the ass. I don't know where it went, so I just made a new one. So hopefully it doesn't cause any craziness when I start it. But so now we gotta do the other side. Hopefully it's a little bit easier. Looks like it's just as bad. So it wasn't just as bad, it was worse. I had a bunch of leaking issues and got frustrated. That's why I didn't shoot the rest of the video. So we ended up getting the injectors to work. We started it back up, did a little bit of tuning on it. I actually didn't bring my camera with me when we went to the dyno, so the best that I have is this cell phone video. And so it went well. It's still together, didn't blow up. We had plenty of fuel. I think even with the spray, it was only at, I think like 68% duty cycle or something like that. So good on fuel for sure. We might actually even change it to E98 just because we have the capacity, and these injectors really suck at idling because it's just asking for too little of a pulse width, and these old school big body injectors are just garbage at pulsing really fast. Anything below like 1.6, it won't do it consistently. So, and I'm asking it to pulse down at like 0.95 and 1.0, shit like that. So we might make a change there. This next video is actually us out testing. It has its own intro, so I'll just go ahead and play that. We're at Bandimere today. We're just gonna do some hard tire testing with the truck. We went to Pueblo the other day, and it did pretty good for first time out. Like, I'm happy with it, but the other thing that we wanted to start using actually on the runs is the nitrous, and hey, it worked great on the dyno, but I couldn't get it to work at the track.
Would you look at that?
We're gonna try it again.
Got a matching helmet to her car. Would you just look at it?
So we're gonna see how it goes. It should be a pretty crappy service. Like, we're not allowed to use prep at these test and tunes, but we're allowed to use prep at CSO. So I doubt, this is testing like worst case scenario. The goal is to try to get it, yeah, I'd be happy to get like a 1.8, 1.760. First time out it was a 1.9, so I mean, it wasn't awful, but definitely not gonna be a winner. So we'll try to work on that today, see how it goes. Test it just on boost only. It'll literally be the slowest pass you'll ever see with this truck. It's set pretty soft, so I doubt it'll get out of shape, but we'll see.
Bitch!
Too much power. Yeah, about half track. I guess we brought the power in a little bit too abrupt or soon, and it spun. I had to get out of it, get back into it. If I get out of it, it's over, because if somebody else makes a smooth pass, I mean, just pedaling it is going to be enough to lose. So we're going to go back, I guess, closer to something from the last pass. Like, I can bring in the power sooner, because all of first gear was lazy as hell. Once I got in the second gear is where it came up too abruptly. So I think if I'm going faster, by the time it comes up like that, it should hook it. So I may soften it a little bit on the ramp, but bring in more power in first gear, see what it does. We'll see. That one was even worse. So I tried to give it a little bit more power earlier, so that hopefully that power increase in second gear would be softer. It did not work that way. I just knocked the tires off in first instead, and then it still spun a little bit in second. I stayed in it though, and the car did actually come around without, you know, going crazy on the limiter or anything like that. So probably soften up the hit a little bit more, and that should be good. I think that's all I'm going to be able to do. Any more than that, I'm just going to have to add power on top. A lot of these hard tire guys are actually making a shit ton of power, and you know, their short track isn't the greatest. I mean, it's still good, but they really lay on the power as soon as the grip's available, and I just don't have any. Third gear is completely full power. and it's not spinning even in the slightest. So we'll try that. I'll soften up first a little bit and see if it gets any better. After that, it's just a matter of adding power that I don't have today.
Hashtag driver mud.
Hashtag driver mud. Yeah, or actually, I'll do one more pass on the hard tires, and then I think I'm putting the slicks on, because that shit's way more fun. Like, the hard tire is fun because it's challenging, but it's a little bit frustrating. So if I get to a point where everything is good for the power that I have, and I don't have anything else to really try or practice, I'm just gonna put the slicks on and do a couple of fun passes. Maybe try to race somebody. I thought it wouldn't.
I was like, fuck, I gotta let out, damn it.
I'm glad you did, because you were starting, like, so I've never had to get like that sideways on me.
Oh, how sideways was it?
That wasn't bad, but it actually did step out. Like, that was a lot for that.
Yeah.
Normally it's very, like, it's like perfectly straight.
I was like, that motherfucker lied.
I didn't lie, I just didn't know. I took 100 out. I thought it was gonna leave lazy as shit.
I was gonna second guess whether or not I floored it.
Well, yeah, you floored it because they lit them up.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my bad. Again. Alright, let's put the fucking slicks on. Screw this.
Okay.
So now we put the slicks on because that was frustrating. I think I know what we need to do to leave good on those hard tires good enough. The power progression is what I really wanted to get down, and that did pretty good. Not yet. So we're gonna put the slicks on, do a pass. I've never actually done a burnout pass on these tires. These are the ones I use for the streets. Yeah, and it's full. I mean, we'll probably use it. I gotta try to get it to work. I don't know if that relay is gonna work. But yeah, this is just gonna be a fun pass. All the power back in, decent RPM launch, see what it does. I just want something satisfying, and it works on the slicks. And end the day on a good note for both of us. So yeah, just turn everything back up, and then we'll make another hit, and then we'll put Tanya in there, make another hit, then maybe put the bottle in. I don't know if we'll have time.
Bed Bath & Beyond?
Easily, we can make Bed Bath & Beyond. I don't know if we'll have time for the bottle though. Maybe Home Depot.